Silence. It's eerie and uncomfortable, isn't it? Chills the spine. Silence reveals the truth. You can hear it if you listen. Listen to the fears, to the cries, to the tears. Can you hear it? Can you hear the voices of the charismatics through their tongues and their prosperity gospel? Can you hear the voices of the Calvinists through their apparent callousness as it relates to social justice issues? Can you look past the things that they may have gotten wrong doctrinally and see that both are just trying to please God? Can you hear the voices of Black Lives Matter? Can you take off your religious shades for just a moment and see that all blacks are trying to do is matter? Can you listen to the voices of the white nationalists and the alt-right? Can you peer into their chatter and see that they too are simply trying to matter? What's the matter? That I just call some of your biases and prejudice to shatter? Is that tears that I see pouring down your face, looking like you just heard the teacup clatter? Or get out of your feelings. Because it's not about you. It never was. It never will. This is about the gospel. It being so devoted to God that when you stand on the truth, your knees never buckle. Silence is where you go so you can hear. That's why Jesus retreated. Jesus needed to be able to hear from the Father, so that the words that he spoke, he only spoke when he heard from the Father. That's why his words were able to go 2 steps farther and always land on the truth. So how is it possible that you and I share Jesus' Father, yet we see his creation be mistreated and hurting, and we say nothing, and we do nothing? And please, don't give me that stuff about, oh, I am silenced because I'm waiting on God. Well, the same God that told Israel to be silent is the same God that told Moses to stretch out his rod. My God, when have we gotten to a place where our political parties mean more to us than you? I mean, God forbid if I tell people that I am a Republican, then people are going to say that I must not care about black people. And if I say that I am a Democrat, then people are going to say that I must not care about babies being murdered. But I do. I promise you, I do, especially when I suspect that the buildings that talk about planning as a parent, I feel like those are the buildings that always end up in the hood. So I get it. Trust me, I get it. But can you be silent for just a minute and just listen? The same way that Jesus did. When the woman who was caught in the act of adultery was brought before him. Notice the text says, woman who was caught in the act of adultery, not adulterous woman. See, God wanted to make sure that you and I saw her as a woman first. Throughout the noise, Jesus remained silent, not because he was apathetic, but because he needed to be able to hear. He needed to hear the cries and the shame of the sinner, but he also needed to be able to hear the hypocrisy of the religious leaders. See, Jesus didn't speak until he heard both points of view. He allowed no point to distort his view. That's why no point to distort the truth when he spoke those words. And he said, woman, where are thine accusers? Go and sin no more. But he also said that he that is without sin, let him cast the first stone. Jesus understood that both were issues that equally needed to be brought before the throne. My God, we have a lot more to learn from Jesus, don't we? Silence. It's eerie and uncomfortable, isn't it? Chills the spine. Silence reveals to us the truth. You can hear it if you listen. Listen.